Good afternoon. Today I'm going to present my paper. I'm from Taiwan. My name is Chu-yao. I'm the assistant professor of Chongren Junior College of Nursing, Health, Science and Management in Taiwan. The topic for today is effect of collaborative dialogues and Think-Aloud. In the research, noticing and learner uptake has been heated topics in second language research. In 2006-2004, second language research has indicated that noticing and uptake relate to learners' language acquisition. However, the knowledge about how corrective feedback is uptaken by L2 writers is very limited. So the role of noticing can be seen and understood as the most learner notice, learn best, according to Schmidt. And noticing could result in more uptake and greater noticing gains through various provision of various types of corrective feedbacks. Therefore, promoting the quality of noticing was a critically important way in the area of L2 writing. So, arousing writers' noticing awareness would help improve their writing ability. In the second issue of the study is about vocab theory. As we know, vocabulary and grammars are two basic elements of language learning. For most EFL learners, the teacher emphasizes learning grammar more than vocabulary. So, the role of vocabulary has long been underestimated in EFL education. And recently, many researchers have started to direct people's attention to vocabulary acquisition and vocabulary instruction. Especially, the role of lexical collocation in the classroom is very emphasized, especially in EFL context. What is lexical collocation? A lexical collocation consists of words which are linked together in the memory of native speakers. For example, the native speaker would say earn money, heavy traffic, heartbeat. So, knowing a word includes knowing its collocation. Collocational knowledge is a very important factor that contributes to the differences between native speakers and non-native speakers. Therefore, collocational content is an indispensable component in the process of L2 writing acquisition. Therefore, we want to improve the learner's collocational knowledge, and we want to know their knowledge of lexical collocation, especially in their L2 writing. So the rationale of the study, we have 4 issues. The first one, noticing is facilitative of L2 writing. Second, feedback is incorporated as a means of increasing the quality of noticing. And then we combine these two. The combination of noticing and feedback is expected to contribute to the development of L2 writing. The fourth one, the crucial concern should be feedback for acquisition, not so much feedback for accuracy. Now I will introduce the design of the study. In the study, the participants were 22 freshmen at a normal university in southern Taiwan. They came from an intake class of English composition class, and they were divided into 2 groups based on a previous study writing test. So we will have 11 skilled writers and another 11 less skilled writers as well. We will use 3 instruments, respectively. The first one is the writing essay. The second one is corrective dialogues. And the third one is Think-Aloud protocols. For writing essays, the participants were required to compose and revise 2 TOEFL independent essays. They were required to compose each essay that would normally include about 300 words in 40 minutes. And they revise their essay through collaborative dialogues and Think-Aloud protocols. So what is collaborative dialogues? In the study, we use CD as the acronyms. Each pair of students work together to notice and revise the problems in their written essay. And the student was given clear instruction for correlative dialogues in Chinese. And the student in pair discuss one essay for 20 minutes. So 5 minutes the writer will read the essay, and the other 15 minutes they will discuss the essay together. And what is Think-Aloud protocols? Think-Aloud protocols means each student works alone to notice and revise their own problems in written essay. The student were given clear instruction for Think-Aloud protocols in Chinese. And students self-prepare, so they have to detect the errors by themselves for 15 minutes. So in the study, we use CD and TA for correlative dialogue and Think-Aloud protocol as the acronyms. So in the study, the participant was not given specific training for correlative dialogue or Think-Aloud protocols. We just want to review their authentic ability in their written essay. So the participants were allowed to use either Chinese or English while discussing their essay. So in the study, we will use corrective dialogue as the major feedback test to explore the goal of noticing, while the Think-Aloud protocols serve as the controlling task for further comparison. So this is the procedures for the whole study. So students have to write 2 topics, 2 essays. And now we will move to the result of analysis. For the research question 1, do students engaging in collaborative dialogues demonstrate significantly better L2 writing achievement in their revised essay than students engaging in Think-Aloud protocols? From the result, we can see when the score of draft essay was controlled, the students in collaborative dialogues had higher mean scores than those in Think-Aloud protocols. Therefore, the effect of collaborative dialogues was significantly better than that of Think-Aloud protocols on students' L2 writing achievement. The research question number 2. After the implementation of collaborative dialogues, are the scores on the revised essay significantly better than the score on the draft? From the score, we can see students improve their writing ability after the implementation of collaborative dialogue. And we can see students significantly improve their L2 writing after the implementation of collaborative dialogues. Research question 3. What are the EFL learners' developmental patterns of the lexical collocations? In the study, we invite students to detect the 5 different types of lexical collocation. And we can see the mean of different types. And this is the orders of the EFL learners' pattern. So we can see EFL learners tended to acquire the production of lexical collocation in verbs and nouns earlier than in adverbs or adjectives. So we can see the result corresponded with she studies, in which we also found that L2 and L1 subtype might have been the earliest extra type lexical collocation on students' online writing test. However, the finding was somewhat different from the other studies, in which she reported that L1 and L3 and L5 were scored highest. Still, the result of the study was beyond the scope of the current study to draw a concrete conclusion on the EFL learners' developmental lexical collocation. But the finding, however, should be considered as an initial step into later studies of the possible acquisition patterns of English lexical collocations. Then we move to the discussion and conclusion. Correlative dialogue has significantly better effect than Think-Aloud protocols on students' writing achievement. So peer works can facilitate cooperation. That means more people work together better than work alone. And self-revising their own essay was rather difficult for learners, especially for EFL writing learners. Collaborative dialogues can effectively enhance the students' writing improvement. So this finding echoed with Swan and Lexical 2002 studies, which address the importance of collaborative dialogues as part of the process of second language learning. This perspective corresponded with Fortune studies, which found that collaborative dialogues can increase students' learning motivation and played a very facilitative role in guiding students to decide on appropriate forms and to improve their writing ability. Acquisition may occur as a result of interactions, especially with the peer interaction. To promote verbal peer interaction help improve L2 writing. And there are some implications for theoretical and pedagogicals. The first one, we will consider the theoretical implication. The first one, this study offers empirical support concerning Flower and Hayes' theory of writing process, which underscores the importance both of the writer's mental processing. Second, this finding also supports Graf and Kaplan's theoretical framework, which indicates that verbal processing situates in the center of working memory. The third one, this finding provides support for the effect of noticing. And there are also some pedagogical implications for the classroom. The first one, collaborative dialogues help improve L2 writing, and this suggests the benefit of promoting students' social interaction and raising their mental awareness. Second, the result from collaborative dialogue serve as a diagnostic information for teachers to improve their teaching in the classroom and to detect the students' learning problems in their writing. The third one, through collaborative dialogues, students are expected to actively participate in their own learning and also monitor their progress of language achievement. However, there are some limitations of the study and recommendation for future research. The first one, we still need a long-term approach, and we also need to recruit more students in the study for further study. And the third one is about gender variable. It's not included in the study. However, maybe in the future study, we should consider the gender variables. And the last one is about genre effect. In the study, we only use one genre of writing for the students. So maybe in the future study, we can invite students to write more different various types of genre of writing in the study. And the final conclusion, this study has indicated that collaborative dialogue help improve EFL learners' L2 writing ability, noticing ability, and further enhance learner uptake. It is expected that this study can serve as a catalyst that will urge more research into noticing and uptake in L2 writing. Thank you for your attention.